Hello, good evening, everybody. I think we're still waiting for a couple more students to join us today. And while we're waiting, I have included a menti.com link for you to go to with a code 6458485. And I would love to have 3 different feelings you have about starting this course. I know as people come in, I would have to keep posting this link, but I wanted to give those who are here early a head start. And if you have trouble doing that, please let me know. So let's just wait a couple more minutes, maybe 3 more minutes, and then we can start, okay? We should be expecting about 50 students, I think. Hi, everyone. Again, I would love to start in a couple of minutes. I'm just noting down who is here today. We have 2 class sections here. So we're expecting about 50 students. But in the meantime, I posted a link for you to go to at the chat function. It's a menti.com, just to hear some 3 different feelings you might have about starting this course. Okay, so go ahead and enter that, and I'll check in with you in a couple of minutes, as long as I get everybody's names down, because you attended this class and I wanted to know. Also, it would help me greatly if your name on your icon is your name. Like, it's harder for me to know who you are. Like, I don't know who the property something is. It's helpful when it's your name, so I can actually see who you are. Morgan, is that you? Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're totally fine. There are two Morgans coming in today, so I want to make sure that I got the right Morgan as well.
I'm sorry I missed the instruction. What did you want us to write in the chat?
Yeah, no, so I'm sharing the link again, and in this link, I would love to have 3 different feelings of yours on how you feel about starting this course. Just that you can just like, click on that link and include the passcode that's written there, and it's right there. And in a while, we get to see what everybody says. Well, if you didn't need a passcode, that's all good, not to worry. Again, I'll post the link because as people come in, they will not get to see what's written before. Okay. Okay, I guess we will officially start. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Ms. Sujita Menon. That's my last name. And I will be your instructor for this course. And we have today 2 different sections of the same course. So please do not get confused if you see people in this class that are not in your class. We're doing exactly the same thing, except we have different meeting days and times, which we will talk about in a while. And yes, and I will be here with you throughout the next 8 weeks. And so I was really interested to see how you guys were feeling. I'm really excited to be with you guys. Just a little bit about myself. I am finishing up my PhD at the Graduate College of Social Work. I'll be done in a few more months. And this might actually be my last time teaching a class because I'm actually going on to a full-time job in December. So I also work as a social worker at Change Happens. It's a community organization in the 3rd Ward, Houston. It's right across the Graduate College of Social Work. And we work with anyone and everyone. And thank you, Ravon, if I said your name right. Did I say your name right? Yay. So I'm going to try my best to remember you guys by your names. I apologize if I spell it wrong, and I appreciate your graciousness towards me. I've had a lot of people not say my name right, and I know how bad that feels. And so please also let me know how I can say your name better as well. So as I mentioned, I work there as a risk assessment specialist. So what I do is I go to high schools and I administer the Adverse Childhood Experiences Survey to high schoolers. And I meet with students who have high ACE scores and find ways to get and refer them resources in the community. So I do that on the part-time. I am also a teaching fellow at the college, as well as, finishing up my dissertation. So it is a really busy time, but this is a very welcomed addition to my schedule. I love teaching, and I look forward to spending the next 8 weeks with all of you. Now, I would love to get to know you guys personally, but I do understand that we are, on a limited and time sensitive period for most of you. I know that some of you have just finished work or just coming home and maybe haven't had dinner. How many of you have not had dinner? Yeah, me included. And I know that, I know you probably, can't wait to have something to eat. So I'll try to make this as brief as possible. Today is really just an orientation. Welcome to course 6308. We have most of you who are social work foundation students, if I'm not wrong, in the advanced standing cohort. And we have no, Morgan, no. Well, some of you are and some of you not, and most of you are hybrid students, correct? Yes, and we do also have one law student in our midst, okay? And I wanted to introduce him to you. Cyrus, where are you? Let me see if I can find you. Are you around? Cyrus, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please. Because I don't think any, usually, social work students meet with each other, but, maybe law students may not quite know anybody here, but I really just wanted to introduce Cyrus to you. He's from the College of the Law College, correct?
Yes, I go to University of Houston Law Center. That's correct.
Law Center, that's right, correct. Great. And so maybe I will start by, just checking out what you guys have said about how you are feeling. So these are the 3 feelings you have about starting this new course. I see these are this is called word cloud. And so it kind of condenses everything you guys have said and kind of pick out the most salient words. And so I'm just going to look at some of the big ones here. I have overwhelmed, nervous, excited, curious, anxious, scared, ready, eager, happy. Someone say close to my career, curiosity, apprehension, engaged, happy, confused. These are all such great emotions. I actually share a lot of these emotions with you as well. And, as you guys keep coming in, I would definitely encourage you to include some of your emotions in there, because I do want to take note of this and also do this with you guys at every time we meet, just so that I can check in with you. It's kind of my way to check in to see how you're doing at this stage. Now, today, as I mentioned, is just going to be an orientation. So I want everybody to just feel relaxed, okay? Something that I do in my classes before I start, especially with Zoom, is I take a minute to do some mindfulness. So just like if everyone can just take some deep breaths, and just take a deep breath. And I think if you guys know the 5-5-5 method, it's really just taking 5 seconds to breathe in, 5 seconds hold, and 5 seconds out. All right, just do it one more time. Hold and release. Okay, thank you for participating. And, I just do that so we can maintain some presence where we are. A lot of you have gone through a lot today, as is the day. And I would love for y'all to be engaged where we are in the next hour or so. I also wanted to let you know that this session is recorded. I have some of your classmates who were not able to make it today. And so I will be posting the link to this session on our Blackboard after each class we have. All right, so before I start, anyone has any comments, questions? No, everybody ready to go? Great, so I'll share my screen. Okay, I'll share my screen for our syllabus because I think that's what everybody has access to. And I'll allow for y'all to stop me anytime. All right, if you have questions about anything at all. Because the thing about doing synchronous courses is that you're very reliant on this course syllabus. And I want you guys to have everything you need, all right, to be able to succeed in this course. And I want to start with that, right? My job is to see that you learn. My job is to see that whatever you learn is able to kind of like become to fruition in your course assignments, in the interactions we have, in the interactions you have with each other, in the group work that you do with each other. So all assignments have been very carefully planned to kind of help complement what is meant for you to learn in this course. And let's start with the course title. Now we have two different sections in here. I will use the course syllabus for the first section. The first section would be, so I think it's 25876, right? All right, so if you are in the first session, all the dates that are on here is relevant and applicable to you. If you are in the second section, your dates are different in your syllabus attached to your Blackboard shell. I hope that is that's not confusing. All right, just wanted to lay it out there because you have two sections in here today. All right, so I'll just go up from the start. We have planned for 4 different meetings, today being the first. And I have planned for it to be on Mondays at 6 p.m. After this, at the end, I'm going to do a poll to see if you preferred other timings or other days, okay? Because I understand some of you had emailed me and let me know that some of these, the Mondays may not work for you. And I want to be sure to kind of communicate any expectations I have about that. So all these meetings are not mandatory, right? They're optional except for the session that you are presenting with your group. So for the day that you are presenting with your group, it is absolutely essential that you are there. So if you cannot make it, that is after you have taken, effort to, kind of make a schedule work for that day, and you still cannot make it because of some important reason, then I will look into the schedule and see how we can find another day for that, okay? Because that is going to be a large portion of your grade, and I do not want you to miss out on it. All right, so study hall. Now, what happens with study hall is that I could come on Zoom in my work room on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. or, even by appointment. What that means is that if you needed any help with your work, or if you didn't understand something that you're reading, you can let me know that you want to come to study hall, which is either Tuesdays or Thursdays or any other day that you are available. I want to be flexible for you. And so please email me to let me know if you want to speak with me or have an appointment with me outside of these timings, okay? So this does not mean that I'm going to be waiting at a room. This means that if you wanted to meet with me, that you could use the Tuesdays and Thursdays between 2 to 4 or any other time that you can make it, and see if I can make it as well. All right, so this is just to clarify that. Now, all of you have my email address, and I've also given you my phone number. I am assuming that we are not going to get midnight calls, but I really would love to be available to you. And so, yes, please try to email first. And if I usually reply by email really quickly. And if I do not do that and you need an urgent response, you can call me or text me. All right. So I think most of you are familiar that this is part of your interconnected modules. And human diversity and development is one of them that you will have to complete as part of your foundation. Now, in this course, we are examining human development in the context of the social environment. And we are including diversity in intersectional identities such as race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, ability status, socioeconomic status, position, and how that influences human experience. We learn about social and human adaptation, especially in this time when we're affected by, this coronavirus, and that being a major event, the importance of knowing how humans adapt based on their human development, based on a variety of these intersecting identities. We want to understand functioning in a better way. And so given that, we have some course objectives All right, we want to be able to understand how diversity and difference shapes client experiences of oppression, marginalization, alienation, privilege, and power. You will have a ton of readings on this. So if some of these words and phrases seem alien to you, you will get the chance to understand more about it. And as we go along, if I find better and more resources, I will post them on Blackboard for you to read and to watch. Or, you know, there are some really good videos that are on your Blackboard shell that are basic and helps kind of get you started on this, right? So we also want to critically examine value and ethical issues as they relate to social practice. And you will learn more about that in your Code of Ethics, the NASW Code of Ethics, if you have not downloaded it already. I highly suggest doing that. That is really the primary source of our work. As a social worker, that is what keeps me in line with the profession. It keeps me accountable. It's extremely relevant, and I would highly encourage you to be very familiar with that, including laws or regulations and, you know, models of ethical decision making. We would love for you to learn how to express the importance of self-awareness and culturally responsive approaches to practice with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. I would like to emphasize that this part, you would get to practice that on yourself through a course assignment known as positionality. And I'll go over that later, but that is also, you know, one of the ways that we can meet this objective. And number 5, apply some selected human behavior and human development theories to different client populations, and that we get to achieve as well by your readings and your group work. Number 6, demonstrate critical thinking skills using theory as a lens to understand human development and human behavior. Number 7, examine the influences and effects of diversity and difference on human development. And number 8, assess how the changing forms and functions of families and social institutions affect our well-being. So these are some of the objectives we have throughout the 8 weeks. And we have, you know, a couple of topical areas, and you will see 1 to 5 would be how the course will be split up over the 8 weeks. Okay, please know this is delivered completely online. We will not be meeting in person. The course will use a variety of methods like recorded lectures, videos, discussion boards, activities, and each of you, depending on which section, you have due dates for each of your assignments, including discussion board entries, as well as your group presentations. So as I mentioned, there are 4 virtual class meetings. This is your first one. And again, if you're unable to attend due to work or field placement, please let me know. All sessions are recorded, so you can always catch up on it, and you can check in with me on how you can, you know, make up for the time that you're not here. If you had missed anything, you can always go back and listen to the recording. In my opinion, I go by integrity, and I go by trust that you are reading what you need to read, and, you know, getting acquainted with the material that is assigned on your Blackboard. And so that brings me to the textbooks, and I hope all of you were able to get your textbooks. We have 1 textbook that is required, and everything else has been posted to your Blackboard so you can access those articles. And so I think some of you had a question about whether you're getting the right book. I hope you got the multi-dimensional perspective one. The 6th edition is preferred. It's really the latest one, and the reason why I suggest that is because as the editions are changing, well, as society is changing, so are the editions, right? We have different configurations of family systems right now, you know, and, you know, we have new codes or new laws or regulations that have come up, and it's reflected as the editions are, you know, more and more recent. The second one is not a textbook, but it's actually a movie, a picture. And I think I mentioned to most of you that you could get this off Amazon. I think Amazon Prime, if you get the first week free, you can actually try and get it free. If not, I think it's just $3.99. Okay. Any of the other assigned readings, like I mentioned, we have included that in your syllabus, and in Blackboard, we will incorporate both assigned readings from textbooks and supplemental ones. They have been very purposefully selected. In fact, we actually amended this year's course syllabus to be even more relevant to the diversity issues that we are facing in our country. And so these readings are meant to expand and strengthen your critical thinking and to encourage debate. It's not expected that we will all agree on all these perspectives presented. Besides the NASW Code of Ethics, everything else is also subjective to how you interpret it, right? Because we have intersecting identities as well. So our experiences and our past experiences will influence the way that we perceive certain things. And I would highly encourage for us to express some of that in our assignments, especially with your positionality. And you will get a chance to interview a partner, and that's where you learn more of someone else who may be different from you. All right. And so it's a really exciting course. I mean, if you're not excited, I am. I'm excited to read your work and excited to give you feedback. It's kind of very fast paced because it's only 8 weeks, but each week, you will be covering at least a chapter of the book, right? And it's going to be based on the developmental stage. So I'll run through how you will be graded, and I really would not emphasize too much about it. I'm sure all of you are going to do well. I think this is a formality, if you ask me, because a lot of what we're going to do in this course is really about growth and learning. So again, I hope you will remove this. Sometimes we have an obsession with grades, and so it kind of makes us anxious and overwhelmed. But I'd love for y'all to just put that aside and just enjoy this course and learn as much as you can, okay? And so participation, now how I assess participation, like I took attendance today. I knew you guys were here, but because these sessions are not mandatory, I cannot be grading you based on that. So how I will assess participation is by a few other ways. One, the discussion board. So I highly encourage that as you see a syllabus and you see a discussion board due date, it means that you're expected to include your feedback on there. Two, when you are doing your group work, I will explain this later. Maybe I'll explain this later, maybe I wouldn't, but you will be doing peer evaluations for each other. So what that means is that after you do a group, after you have this time that you do your group presentation, all of you will be given a form where you would write feedback for yourself and feedback for your fellow course mates, and I will get to see that feedback as well. And so by that, I will also gauge participation, and I would like for you to provide me some alternatives for participation if you're not able to attend these meetings that we have, okay? Now, we have our first assignment. Our first assignment is the positionality assignment. That is 20% of your grade. It's a large percentage. It's at least 1/5. Because this is, to me, one of the most important parts of you starting off as a social worker, which is to critically examine yourself. And so you will write a paper that provides you an opportunity to reflect on your own positions and how it might shape what they bring to your future social work practice. Now, positionality comprises many, many different dimensions of social identity. That's what we're talking about when we talk about positionality, social identity. You will include things like your race and your ethnicity, language, first language, gender and gender or gender expression, your socioeconomic class, age, sexual orientation, religion, spiritual beliefs, ability, disability, and your sense of place. You can include any other, but I would like for y'all to be using headers that clearly delineates each section so that I can follow through with your line of argument as well. I mean, in any assignment, I highly encourage, as we give you headers, that you follow headers and include that as you write. It will help you really keep yourself at the right pace. All right, so for this assignment, the main objective is to gain a deeper understanding of what they mean to you personally and how these meanings are developed and how your life has been shaped by these things, especially your stance towards difference. So your stance towards different things, different people, different beliefs, different languages, different cultures. In sum, the purpose is to answer the question, who am I? How does this affect how I relate to others, especially those who are different from me? Okay, I hope that's clear for everybody. I will stop here to see if anybody has any questions before I move to the second one.
I have a question. How long does the paper need to be?
So if you go to your Blackboard, you would see under the assignments tab. Now let me also go through that with you just so that everyone can follow this through with me. Okay. Let's see. All right, so this is the cause. I'm sorry. All right, so this is how your course should look like. Well, it looks a bit different on my instructor page, but basically what you would see in here is that you would see assignments and final exam on the left, right? Here would have all the assignments that you have. So for example, if you click on reflecting on positionality, it gets downloaded to your computer and your assignment is right here. Now, things to do with like the number of pages and what we are looking for, the rubric. Like for this one, you're expected to write 3 to 5. 4 is great. 3 is fine. You will not be penalized if you have 3. Or I encourage you not to write below 3 or above 5 though. It's important to be succinct, okay? So that's one of the things and skills about, learning to write case notes next time, that I highly encourage to follow that. There's the paper should be divided in sections as it's mentioned here. And it's written over here that you would have it double spaced, Times New Roman 12, and this is one of my pet peeves is grammar. So just FYI, please check your work before submitting it. Proofread your work because you are in a graduate program. I did my master's at the College of Social Work and I'm now doing my PhD, and every single day I'm reminded of how important it is to ensure that our work is of quality. That really will reflect how it is when we go out to the field. In your field placements, in your future social work jobs, this is really how it's going to be. So this is a great place to start. Now, if any of you are struggling with language or grammar, I have to share with you one of my tips. I actually bought Grammarly. It's right here. And you can see how it works. It actually helps. It helps me with my writing. So, it tells me that I need to change my sentence, and it helps me kind of like identify where the problems are grammatically. There is a free version which you do not have to pay, and that may suffice, So I use that. I also use the spell check that is in my Word document, like my Word office. And the last thing I wanted to say is that the University of Houston has a writing center. And this is also included in here. I have used it before as a student myself, and I found it very useful. And so it is a slow process though, because you might have to wait. But the way that the process is, you actually learn a lot about academic writing through that. So I'm jumping the gun. This might be explained later in the syllabus, but I'm just saying it right now since I'm at it. There's always going to be a rubric for every assignment. Well, what that means is that I'm going to follow this rubric as I grade your work. So as you can see, anything, if you're looking to get an A, then it's got to have to follow all of these things on the left. Of course, everybody's looking to get an A. I'm not going to really bother to go to the B and C because I don't think any one of us naturally thinks that we want to get a B or C, right? So I want to encourage you to just look at the first column and aim for whatever is on there. And everything should be in here for your assignments. Now, if you've never used Blackboard before, one thing to know is that you will upload your assignments on Blackboard. So you will have a spot that you could upload it. And all assignments are due 11:59 of the due date that's being indicated on the syllabus. All right, any other questions for for this positionality assignment? All right, I guess not. I will move on then to the next part. So this is your second assignment, cross-cultural dialogue and learning. Okay, so what will happen in this is that you will be paired with a partner of your choice, and you will engage in conversation thinking broadly about culture. Race, ethnicity, gender are of course important, but the two individuals might also have a different sexual orientation, embrace different political beliefs, belong to a different age group, socioeconomic status. So whatever it is, my encouragement is for you to work with somebody else in the class that is different from you, or at least seemingly different, right? There is no structure or system by which that you can sign up, right? Like with the group work, you have a sign up link in the discussion board. But for this assignment, I would like for you guys to kind of find your own partners. So if you approach somebody and they've already partnering with someone else, they have a choice of whether they want to partner with you as well, or if you can find somebody else, right? So I'm not sure if you will have trouble doing that, but by the time the time comes that you have to do this assignment and you're struggling to find a partner, please email me. Okay, I don't want you guys to feel like stressed about not being able to find a partner. So please email me and I will send out an email to see if anybody else hasn't been paired up, or if anyone else is struggling this in the same way as you are. Now, what will happen with this pairing up is that you will write a paper in narrative form addressing specific questions. Complete assignment instructions can also be found on Blackboard. Okay, so everything that you need to know about each assignment is on Blackboard Assignments tab. And everything is so clearly stated, but if you had any questions about them, feel free to ask me about them. If you have already looked at it and you have questions, now is a great time to ask so everybody learns from it. Anybody?
Ugh. I think I have a question. I just want to make sure that I am understanding what's being asked. So we would be paired with a partner of our liking or of our choosing. I'm sorry, I can't see your screen anymore.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry. Did you want to see my screen? Okay, I am apologize. Right here.
and so we are writing a paper on, just writing a paper on our where is it at? I think okay, sexual orientation, political beliefs, etc.
Yes. So you would have a couple of
Okay.
question prompters in your assignment that you will ask the partner. And this is to cover all of these things. The purpose is for cross-cultural dialogue and learning. And then you will write a paper in a narrative form addressing some specific questions that are on the assignment template.
Okay.
Mm.
And is this assignment also 3 to 5 pages as well?
So
or...
I believe so. And I need to, let me see if I can check that out for you. So as you can see, these are some suggested questions to guide you. And when you are writing a paper, you will address these 4 questions. As I mentioned, always split your paper up according to the sections and the questions. This is 3 to 4 pages double spaced as well. The rubric is also here. So part of this assignment requires that you get familiar with the NASW standards for cultural competence. Now I put an asterisk next to competence because we do not actually believe you can be culturally competent, right? You can be culturally aware or culturally humble, but it's hard to be competent, right? And so it uses that in their standards, but I want to just be clear and acknowledge that cultural competence is a lifelong process and it really may never be achieved. You can only get better and better at it as you converse with diverse populations and you gain better cultural awareness and humility about the otherness, right? The difference with other people that you have and how to respond to people who are different from you. And so, yes, so just saying that you would need to go back to your standards for cultural competence beyond the interviews that you have with the partner. So over here, it actually states that, you know, you'll be paired with another individual in the class. And I would prefer that you pair yourself. Again, try to choose someone who looks or may feel or may think or maybe be different from you, so you get a richer learning experience. And there is a bolded section here you may want to take note of. You will be asked to share your positionality paper or parts of it. You do not have to share the whole paper. Some of you may not be comfortable sharing every part of it that you have included for my grading. So what's for me? You may not want to share that with the partner, but you could remove some of those sections that you don't want to share and share the rest of the whatever you choose to share with your partner so that you can offer some background information about yourself. And then you also get to learn more about them through that paper as well. Is that somewhat clear for you guys in terms of the instruction for this assignment? These are just suggested questions. You may be curious about other things. As long as you are sensitive and that you ask it in a respectful manner, I don't see why not. So, you know, just you can take this assignment as far as you want and as little as these questions that are required from you. Okay. All right. Any further questions that you may have about this assignment?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Does the person have to be in our same class section? If not in our cohort, like, do they have to be in the same class section as us since there's 2 sections here tonight?
So that's a great question. And how do I pronounce your name? Sanjuanita?
San Juanita.
Sorry?
San Juanita.
Juanita?
Yeah.
Okay. Juanita, thanks for that question. Now, I am unsure how to answer that question because I don't know how much you guys know of each other. So how much do you know of the other section? Little bit. The thing is that in the Blackboard, in your Blackboards, you actually get to see the email addresses of only your cohort. You don't actually get to see the email addresses of the other cohort. So I would think that it might be harder if you would cross cohorts because you wouldn't know their email addresses. It'll be hard to connect with them. So I would say try to stick within your cohort. If at any chance you have trouble in finding anybody in your cohort, then I will consider introducing someone to you from the other cohort. Would that be okay? Cool. Thanks, Juanita, for your question. Any more questions? Okay, if there are no other more questions about this assignment, I will move forward. Okay, the big one, the group presentation. Okay, let me see if I can open that up for you. So now this is a 25% of your grade. You will be paired with groups of 4 in your cohort. I think one group might have 5, 10, 15, 6, 12, 8, 24. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. So so you will sign up for your preferred group, and if you go to your Blackboard discussion board, and let me show that to you guys so that you're not unsure where we are. So this is your Blackboard shell. On the left, you will find discussion board. All right, over here, you will see at the bottom, there is sign up for group, the group that says pregnancy, birth, and newborn. There's sign up for infancy, early childhood, adolescence, young and middle adulthood, late or very late adulthood. Now, all these have got the updated dates on them that you will be doing the presentations. So just know that for the first section, your first presentation is on November 9th. And this is based on the Monday 6 p.m. timing. All right, and there will be 2 groups going at each presentation Monday. So we'll call that presentation Monday. So you will be like infancy and early childhood. Well, sorry, pregnancy, birth, and newborn, and infancy will be going to will be presenting at the same time. Now I already see that one person has responded. So for example, you'll get to see when you click, Scott has asked if she could do the assignment on pregnancy stage. So Scott has written his phone number. Great one there, Scott. So what you want to do is to follow this, write your email address and phone number. And at some point when your group is full, right? When your group has at least 4, somebody in the group can take charge or take lead and connect all of you guys together. Okay, so there's no like set leader, but you can kind of take initiative. If you see once your group has got 4, you get to see like full 4 here. And once it's full, please go on to the next one. Now let me just count. There are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Excuse me, I can't see what you're talking about.
Oh,
Me either.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that you let me know. Can you see this now?
Yes.
Oh, what a shame. So I was saying this is the discussion board. If you go on the left-hand side of your Blackboard, you will get to see discussion board. This is what your discussion board looks like. And in there, we've already created links for you to basically sign up, right? For the groups that you want to be part of. Each group cannot have more than 4. So once this number 1 here turns to 4, it means that this group is like full. So you can move on to the next group. All the dates and the timings are here. This is only for section 1. So just don't get confused about the dates, okay? So you want to try and go into the system like in the next few days to sign up already, because remember the first presentation is in about, is it 3 weeks? I want to say 3 weeks. So you want to start, getting ready for that. And so going back to the group assignment, you're signing up for groups based on the stage of development, okay? When you do that and you have a group, you will be basically identifying a specific social justice issue that is consistently associated with the life stage, okay? You will organize your presentation and prepare it using either PowerPoint, Prezi, VoiceThread, or any other presentation software. You can be creative, and you will present it on the date that is on that discussion group. All right. So in your assignment, you will provide a brief overview of the life stage as you present. You identify a social justice issue. You identify and share a current event, and to demonstrate the etiology or impact of this issue on individuals in the life stage. You will give your recommendation for 1 to 2 changes or improvements to services, policies, programs to address that particular social justice issue you brought up, and that would actually improve outcomes of the individuals in that life stage. Specifically, you could explain the role of social workers in addressing this social justice issue. And your final slide should include a reference list in APA format. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but the APA manual looks like this. It is the 7th edition. I'd like everybody to follow the 7th edition APA format. if you do not have your book, it's fine. You can actually just go online and they give you multiple formatting for how you would cite where your sources come from. Just FYI, I'm a PhD student, so I am very particular about referencing and about citations. So please ensure that you stick to whatever you find on the APA 7th edition format. I like Purdue OWL. It's actually a really good source and it's pretty legit with, ensuring that it has got the right format in terms of citation. So you can look at a variety, but like just make sure it's 7th edition. And then, so that's the first task you have for this group assignment. The second task you have is that as a group and related to the stage of development and your presentation, you will develop 3 multiple choice exam questions. You know that this course has a final exam. So these 3 multiple choice questions could go into your final exam. I say could because I can't guarantee that all the questions will be selected. I will take at least 1 out of 3. So you will basically submit them to me on a separate document along with the presentation to my email. You can attach these documents together. And I do not believe that, well, I believe there's one submission portal, but I would prefer if you send it to me via my email address. So you can send me a presentation, final presentation, including the 3 questions. Okay, now the third task. After you complete the 3 questions, you will also convene a final group meeting after the presentation to reflect on your work together by using 3 questions. I don't know if you've done this in your first course, but it's basically called the glow, grow, and go. Have you ever done this before? Yes, so you're familiar with it, but this is going to look a bit different. I will give you guys, for each group, I'll give you guys a Google form. In the Google form, you will basically indicate some of the go, glow, grow concepts for yourself first, and then you will write the grow and the go for all of your other course, your group mates. So you will be kind of giving them peer evaluations, if you call that right. And all of these forms will be submitted back to me, and I'll have a good collation of it, and I will send them to you guys after I see what everybody has written. Okay. So there are 3 different, that's one of the ways I can also gauge participation. You're not graded for this particularly, but that is your participation. And basically also just encouraging you with peer evaluations and, being as engaged as you can with your group in this assignment. Okay. So your evaluation rubric is right here. And you will see all of them, including the questions at the bottom right here. Okay, so be as critical as you can. These questions are used to test the knowledge of things to do with your developmental stage. And as I mentioned, if you're presenting something new, your classmates will have a chance to hear you out and to learn from you as well. And so that to say is all part of the course, right? And your final exam could cover something like that as well. Now, are there any questions about this group assignment? If not, I will go back.
I don't have a question about the group assignment, but I'm not sure if you mentioned this earlier. For the project in which we have to partner up, are we sharing that with the class or just you and the partner?
Just me and the partner. So
Okay.
Sorry, are you talking about positionality or cross-cultural dialogue?
I'm assuming whichever, I think it's the cross.
Okay, so for
I think
the
it's the cross-culture one. Mhm.
gotcha. So for the cross-cultural dialogue, you will be submitting an assignment to me, and you will be in that assignment. It requires you to do an interview with somebody, and in that interview, you will also share parts of your positionality paper that you are comfortable sharing. So it's just going to be with your partner and with me, but you may not necessarily share the cross-cultural dialogue assignment with your partner. You're just interviewing them to do your assignment. Okay, so your final paper or final cross-cultural paper may not necessarily be shared with them, unless of course you want to get feedback and dialogue. In dialogue with them further, you could. It's your choice, but you know, naturally it would just be sent to me for grading at the end of finishing that assignment. Is that cool with you, Kendra?
Thank you. Yes.
Of course. All right, who else has any questions at all? Okay, let's see. All right. Give me 1 minute.
I just had a super quick question. I posted it in the chat box, but I think it got bumped really quickly. So recently the state of Texas and I think it was the examiners board decided that social workers can now turn away clients based on sexual orientation and disability status. Are we gonna get the opportunity to discuss that at all?
So, you know, let me try and think. Yes, so I want to say that will be a really good, it will be a good chance for us to discuss it. If at the next few sessions that we have, if we finish our presentations early, we will get a bit of time to chat about that. But what I would like very much to encourage everybody to do is to really read up on that. And I can find some resources for you that I can send you, and some advocacy efforts of the college that is being done right now that you can also engage in. So so just in the meantime, and if anybody else wants to do that, I'm totally open to that as well. If anybody already has the article, or I'll just have to pull it up and send it to you. But if you want to do that and just send a note to the class, I'm more than happy for you to do that as well. But yes, I would love for us to discuss that. And I think that as we I might actually open a discussion board for it as well, because we don't have a scheduled class that is meant to discuss anything beyond the 3 different presentation time slots. And I want to respect that, you know, as we set these synchronous timings, that I'm not impinging on your schedule further, but I do want to have options where we can discuss that. So now in the diversity, in the readings you have to read for diversity, I believe it's actually in the next 2 weeks. You will get a chance to explore some of these things. And what I will do is I'm going to open up a discussion board for you to discuss this issue and have as much dialogue as you can. And if we have the chance in the first and the next group meeting that we have, we can take about 15 minutes or so to talk about all that y'all discussed, if that is okay with you.
That would be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for bringing that up. You know, it has been weighing heavily on my mind. And I think that we are such in the thick of this right now that, you know, we want to make sure we understand exactly what's going on, right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. So I am trying to catch up with the chat messages. Okay, Morgan, I just saw you say that. Does the textbook have to be through Cengage Learning or just have to be 6th edition? It just has to be 6th edition. I know everybody has a different way of getting a textbook. As long as you have legit information and it's not a fake textbook, I'm cool with that. A free editing resource is Hemingway Editor. Ooh, I need to write this down. And Katie, do you have to pay for this service?
No, it's a completely free app available on your computer. You can even set kind of the settings. So if you want like a different kind of background, I've used it when writing creatively, it always just really helps me focus and think, how can I write this just a little bit straighter to the point? So it's just something that I always love to throw like any essay I'm working on into, just to get to the basics and the core of what I'm working on.
That's wonderful, Katie. Thank you for sharing that. I hope we can all look at different creative ways to help
Is
ourselves
this,
do better.
I'm sorry, is this the book that you want us to have?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, just wanted to make
Got
sure
it.
because I ordered it from Amazon and I don't want to have to
Got
send it
it.
back.
Yes, and so Mind Tab is available for this as well, but you're not required to use it. If anybody feels comfortable and really wants to use it, I can give you a code for it, but you don't have to. It really is just more money and you don't need to. So, but if you insist and you want it, please ask me for the code, okay? All right, I see some people asking for partners. Since I do not know anyone else, is there a way you could assign me? Oh, sorry. Yes, Cyrus, I got your note. So I'll just put the plug out right now, right? Cyrus is from the School of Law, and he probably is different because, you know, he's in a different college. Anybody wants to take him up
Oh,
for a partner?
I found a partner. Thank you.
Oh, look, already?
Yes.
What? I'm impressed. Okay, great. Um,
I have a question,
yes.
Sujita.
Mhm,
With all the readings in the syllabus,
mhm.
is there a study guide for us to just kind of narrow down what we need to be focusing on, because it's so much information?
Yeah, so Rayvon, so I wanted to just emphasize that in each week that you have to read, there's actually a video, right? Which kind of summarizes it, like summarizes a bit of what you're trying to get done in this chapter or in this week's readings. And if you look at the textbook, really, you know, there are like the blue sections on top that talk about the competencies you need to gain from that chapter. So I would say that, you know, that would be a good place to start, you know, with like just getting a glimpse of it. I know the textbook's really thick and it can be very intimidating. But I want to say, like, skim read, right? Like, you know, read as much as you can and just like, I've been a student for a while, right? I've also struggled with multiple readings. And I want to say that a lot of them are actually like also case examples, stories, you know. But one thing that I found very important is the section on implications for practice. You know, I want to be able to know, how does this affect my social work practice? And so just knowing the issue, every chapter has a summary section as well. So if you're really struggling, at least you have that section. The summary section is at the end of every chapter. So yeah, so again, just familiarizing yourself with the textbook will reduce that type of anxiety about having to accomplish so much. You know, the readings and the assignments are meant to kind of complement each other. So I don't want you guys to kill yourself over having to like think that you have so much to read, but it is important to get the most important things, right? And so being in a kind of like an online course, like a asynchronous kind of synchronous course, sometimes it's just hard because we want to give you as much as possible, and you can actually do the material at your own time. But there's some basic stuff that you have to read in order to like get it right, like NASW Code of Ethics. Like there's no way around it. Like you have to be familiar with that, right? But yet in the textbook, there are some things that you can skip through. Like some of the stories may not be as needed, right, as the main points that are being covered. It helps you understand the main points, but it's not like absolutely essential. So yeah, that's all I can really say. The summary section at the end of each chapter, I feel like would be, you know, comforting, to know that even if you couldn't finish that, whatever, you know, the chapter is, at least you are reading the summary. Does that help at all? Okay. I feel you. I feel you. All right. I hope I've answered everything else. Let me see. All right, you guys have grouped me. All right, Morgan, you've already put up the information about the state board. That is great. Has everyone saved it on your computers? If not, I would suggest that you do. I am making sure that I get the right one. I hope this is the right one. Oh, it says that the page can't be found. So, yeah, I might just also, I can't hear you, Morgan. Sorry.
I think it might have all merged into one link. Let me see if I can send them separately.
Yeah, and is this just news? Because there is an official document that we can read.
That's what I'm going to pull up right now.
Okay, cool. And Morgan, maybe you can post it for the whole group as well. Thank you. So yeah, I think we've covered all the questions on here. Let me see if there's any other thing that I'm sorry, not this one. Okay. Let's see, online 2. I'm sorry, looking at crazy stuff. Okay, so as we go on, actually this, I'm now moved to like the section 2 syllabus, but it's all the same thing, so I think it doesn't matter. Okay, everything else, like I mentioned, it's really, you know, up to your own reading. There's a lot of information here about classroom attendance, about ethical conduct, you know, plagiarism. I think you all know what plagiarism is. Everything you write that is from someone else has to be cited. Academic dishonesty, how the grading system works. And so just moving forward, I hope you guys can read that. I want to emphasize as well, if you have difficulty managing stress, the UH has a CAPS department that you can reach out to. Like for students, it's really cheap. And it could be free even, I think, based on sliding scale. But you can call them up and talk with them. Now, we also have a Title V statement on sexual misconduct. And I hope that you will read this as well. All right, because we want to ensure that you know you must report incidents of sexual misconduct, like sexual harassment, non-consensual sexual contact, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, intimidation, intimate partner violence, or stalking, even if it's from your classmates or anything of the sort. You can actually make a report in confidence, okay? All right, behavioral ethical conduct. Everybody's great today. I'm sure y'all have already used to what it's like to be in the online learning environment. All right, confidentiality. I think you know that live synchronous meetings will be recorded, and I want to emphasize not to share that link with anyone outside of the class. All right. I think we want to keep this space safe for all students, and we want to ensure that whatever you share will be kept within this group, okay? You are encouraged to participate in tech groups. I know you all have a group meet going on to connect with each other, but also remember to keep professional standards. Now, I think you all know about late assignments as well. 11:59 is the due date. So for every late day, there will be a deduction. It's a 10% deduction to the total possible points. And assignments may be turned in a maximum of 5 days late if you have a solid reason. And I am pretty flexible, but I would need to know if you have a real emergency, like if you're in the hospital or if something had happened to you or your family members and you needed an extension. And if you could let me know at least 24 hours ahead of time, I can work something out for you and I will not deduct your points, okay? So if I do not hear from you though, then I'm going to assume that it was tardiness, and that warrants point deduction. Okay. Communication, as I mentioned, I encourage you to email me first before texting or calling me. I will check my email frequently. I usually reply within the day, couple hours sometimes, couple minutes sometimes. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's not the coronavirus. Don't be worried. And as mentioned, you have my email address. And I also mentioned I will be available and I can get onto my virtual room if you want to meet me on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4 or any other time that you are available. Let me know what it is and I'll try to make time for you. Most of you were punctual today, so I don't see us having a problem with this. If you have now, I just hope we are clear about this. If you have field on Mondays or if you have work and you end late, do not be worried about coming in late. And the reason why I say that is I'd rather you come in late than not attend at all. So just, yeah, just come in and, we'll sort it out from there. You can always revert back to the recording to look at what you missed so that you would not miss out on anything. All right, so this is where we are. Today we are having our course overview and expectations. So in your course syllabus, all of you will have the Zoom link that is needed for all the sessions you are going to be part of, all right? And then as you go down the syllabus, you would find that for each week, so this is this week, all right? This week, these are all the stuff that you are meant to do. It's supposed to help you guide what you're expected to do. The first thing you would do is in your Blackboard, you would have the chapter 1 on FIN, a social justice approach to social work. This actually, now that I think about it, this would actually be great as you think about the board, the social board's recent announcement. And when I open up the discussion board, you guys can use some of the things you read in this first chapter and relate that with the board's decisions. Okay, then you have an article on racial microaggressions, on white privilege, working with women of color, learning from the outsider, Black feminist thought. And then I have 2 videos here that are really good. Like I love this first video because it's super basic to help understand what systemic racism is about. And then you can watch this one on doing the frontline stories on social change. And so there's a discussion board for participation on race and privilege and social justice. So I want to say that you can, so the discussion board on this is important, it's mandatory, but I can't say that the discussion board on the board or the board's decision is mandatory. But I highly encourage, and I would take that into consideration for participation if you are engaged with both discussion boards for the week. Okay, so and then you can also view, when you see the word view, it's like these are some videos and all of the rest that if you have extra time you can do. If you don't, it might be those that you can skip. Okay, so there is a section that says read, review, and view. All right, so let me see what the chat group says. Can somebody read that out to me if that's okay? I'm not able to see the chat. So strange.
I just shared the board meeting notes from.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
But it's like a million pages long, so I'm trying to find the exact point where it was made.
Great. Yes, thank you so much, Morgan. I appreciate your effort in doing this. I'm really excited that, you're taking a real interest in this because we all should. So every week, that's what will happen, right? You will have all that you need to read and everything is coinciding with your Blackboard. So if I say view cultural humility video, when you go into your Blackboard, you will see cultural humility video. So I hope this would be a structured way for you to kind of check in with what's needed. When you have assignments due, I've also kind of put that into your syllabus so that you don't get lost on what's needed. So for example, your first assignment is due 1st November, and that's your positionality assignment. So I guess you have the next 11 days to work on that. And then we go to November 2nd. I know for the section 2, I believe that's when your first class is. Yes, your first class, November 2nd. So that will be the first presentation. So remember to go on your discussion board and sign up, especially for the pregnancy and infancy stage where you'll be presenting on November 2nd. I hope you try to sign up like ASAP. Also,
Can I ask a quick question about that?
yeah.
How many people are able to sign up? Because I'm a little bit unsure looking at it, and not all of them, when I go onto that, you're not able to click on all of them, just some of them you can access, kind of like every other one. So I guess my first question is, how many people per group can sign up?
It's 4 people per group, and you have 6 groups in total. So there might be one group with a 5, just because I think one class is 25.
And I just think, because some of them are showing 0 right now, and it's just because you can't access them, like you're not able to click on them.
Now I want to solve that problem. So Nancy, are you in the first section or the second?
I am in cohort 1. Is that what, sorry, is that what you mean?
You're in cohort 1, okay. Now let's see what's going on with cohort 1. So cohort 1, okay, this is it. So you're saying that you're not able to click on either of them, or do you know which one in particular?
So like looking at it right now, like I can sign, there's pregnancy, birth, and newborn, but then it says sign up for group infancy, the infancy one, and looks like no one can sign up for that. You can sign up for early childhood or middle childhood, but you can't sign up for the next one.
Okay, so can you click on it? Does anything come up?
No.
So,
nothing.
Same for me.
It's the same for you. Now, Nancy, do you mind sharing your screen?
Sure. Are
just
you?
So that I'm sorry, I just want to solve this problem before you guys have trouble with it. Oh, it looks like pregnancy already has 5.
That maybe was me trying to sign up. Okay, see if this works. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so like right here, so like pregnancy, birth, and newborn, if I click on that, it shows being able to sign up, but like here, see how it says 0, where it says, so if I click on that.
So you have to create thread. So that's what you do, create thread.
Okay.
And then you will write, I want to be involved in this group, and you write your name and your details over there.
Okay, so it's, so even though these are like highlighted, so it looks like you can't, but technically I could still sign up for this one right here.
You can, you just create thread and write that you want, like, so you just write.
So subject.
Yeah, just write your name and that I want to be involved in this group. I mean, interested in this, sure.
Like that, okay.
And then then write your name at the bottom, like right at under the message, write your name, your number, and your email address.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and then just submit it so that we know that you want to be part of that. So it looks like some of you, and so if you sign up for one group, like Nancy, you already signed up for birth. If you wanted to change, please remove your name from birth and then go to the other one so that there's no duplicate names.
Well, I just think because it looks like there were already 4 people, maybe 2 people. So if you said only 4 people can be on it.
So one, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 22, 23. The first class only has 23, so. Okay, so I have 23 on one and 24 on the other. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it should not exceed 4 for each group.
I don't.
So let's not try to go to 5. Katie, all the dates for the group presentations are on your syllabus. And it's also in the assignments tab that states group presentations. I've written in exactly which date. On the discussion board, I've also written in the date and the time for each of those things. Denise, what are you asking about on what you want to find? Denise?
Why isn't my name? I don't understand.
So I strongly encourage for you to ask if you have questions. So Denise, where do we find this group work? I don't know which part of the group work you're asking about, but let me just, oh, the discussion board. Yes, someone wrote that. Yes, discussion board, if that's what you're asking.
I just have one other question, Sujita.
Yes.
I'm trying to sign up for pregnancy, birth, and newborn. You said to create a thread and just put my information in the subject bar or in the message part.
Right, both ways. If you have it both ways, it's easier to see.
Okay.
But I don't know, depending, Revon, if it's still open for you. I'm trying to see if I could send a file here, but I don't know why it's not pulling. Okay. Denise, if you're not able to find the discussion board, it is really on your Blackboard, and I'm going to share my screen one more time just so that everybody is clear. This is how it looks like. If you go to your main course, right? Let's say you're on your home page. You click on the course, all right? And on the left-hand side, you see a lot of different tabs. If you scroll down, you'll see the word discussion board. Click on discussion board. And then your discussion board is where you have a ton of questions for the different due dates. And then you have one for babies. You have one for social justice and human development. I think, if I'm not wrong, this is where you can click the assignment details. And then you have the sign up for all the links, all the groups that you want to be part of. So as of now, I'm seeing that adolescents is still got 0. And I think, I don't know why we are already at 5 for the other groups. So it might be imbalanced right now. So I'm seeing 5, and we can only have 4 in each group. Okay, so if you see a 5 and you're the 5th person who entered your information, I suggest you consider moving yourself to another group. Late adulthood needs 1 more. Morgan, thank you. I only have 1 for adolescents. This is only for the first section, by the way. I haven't looked at the second section. Denise, are you clear about how to get there? Because what I will do is I'll go to the second section and I'll see how you guys are doing out there. Discussion board, let's see. All right, this group has got 3 signed up for pregnancy, none for infancy, and I have seen 6 for adolescents. Now we got to move some of you guys to infancy, okay? Oh, Morgan, you signed up twice. Is that why? Morgan Coleman, you actually signed up twice.
I think it's because someone signed up underneath mine. If you go to my thread, there's someone signed up in my thread.
Oh.
You see that? Can you see that if you click on it?
Did someone reply or something?
I just wanted to say, I think it's a little confusing because the red circle, I think that showing how many people said something or responded, not necessarily how many people are in that group. So like you said, no one signed up for infancy, but there are actually 3 people that have gone in to create a thread for that. So
I'm actually looking at the second section right now, not the first. So Nancy, you're looking at the first, and what you see on my screen is the second section.
Okay.
In this second section, I'm only seeing one person signed up. Only Madeline has signed up for that.
What do you have to do to get to the second section to like sign up? You just click on it?
So my second section is for my second section class. In this group, there are 2 sections here. If you are in the first section,
so I put a thread into the infancy thing. Is that all that I need to do to sign up for it?
Are you in the first section?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the second section I'm looking at.
Okay.
So I do not want to confuse you guys. I'm going to get out of here. But if I see 6 right now, if I see 5 or 6 and I go in and see 5 or 6 people, you have to shift around. So just to encourage you, if you're the last ones to sign up for that particular section, please move your names to somewhere else that has an open spot. And the reason why I say this is because we need to ensure that every group has equal numbers of people to work on that topic, right? We don't want a group that has 2 and another group with a 6. So I'll just say that again. And if you have any problem signing up, either contact me, email me, or check with your group mates or check with your course mates, like your section mates, if anyone can help you through that as well.
How do we delete a thread? So I was editing my subject and it created additional content. So it made it seem like I had 3 different entries. So how would we delete it if we needed to?
Let me see if I can find. There's a delete button over here. You got to just click.
I didn't see it.
So at the bottom, you don't see it on yours? There's a delete button over here, but you need to click on what you have written and then just press delete. I can't delete you guys now, but you can just.
Yeah, I don't have access to that.
Oh, okay. So are you in the first or second section?
I'm in the young and middle adulthood.
Is it right here?
Yes.
All right. So Kendra, I don't even see your name.
I think you're in maybe section 2 or something like that.
I am in section 2. Are you in section 1?
Yes.
Okay, that was what I was asking. Let's see, discussion board, and you are in, you said in early childhood?
Young and middle adulthood.
Gotcha. So Kendra McLaren, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, so let me delete you here. Wait.
Yeah, I'm listed like 3 times. So
is it 3 times? Okay, good. So I'll just delete the first 2 for you. And Julia, are you also repeated? You are repeated. I'm going, wait, my number is actually 6278.
Yeah, I just wrote my number wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, it seems when you try to edit.
Because there are a lot of duplicates on a lot of these. There's like 3
All right.
or 4.
So this is what I'll suggest. It might be too confusing for me to go in and have to delete all of that. So what I would suggest is just be mindful. I mean, I can just like look in here and delete, but I'm just saying I don't know who else is, who else needs for me to delete. So if you go in and see that there are repeated names and there are spots available, you can still go in and sign up. Is that okay? So I will not
appreciate it
by the number of people that.
Am I showing up for the young adulthood?
Are you in the first or second section?
Oh gosh. Maybe the first one. I don't.
Okay. Who's that speaking again?
Denise Butler.
Denise. Okay, let me check for you. Did you sign up for young or middle adulthood?
Yes.
Okay. So you're probably, let me see, Denise Butler. Yeah. Denise, you are in the second group, okay? So just letting you know.
Okay.
You are in the second section.
Second section. Okay.
How do you know?
So am I showing up in the second section?
Yeah, I'm checking that for you. You are going up. Yep. There you go. And patients, you're reflected twice. So
what's happening? It asks you a question, and then it's like ends up being like a thread. I think that's what's happening. That's how we get these duplicates.
Gotcha. So remember to create a thread, a new thread, and like this, and include your information. Don't reply somebody else, but just create a new thread so your name is clearly there. Remember to include your name, your email address, and your phone number. Patients, I'm not seeing that information here, and I don't know how your group mates will contact you if your number and your I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see,
Okay.
maybe you know author. I don't. Maybe you can. I don't know. But yeah, just be clear with how you can be contacted. I think just to be fair with everybody, we don't want our each other to have to chase each other up, right? So okay, so I want to just be mindful. I have 4 minutes left. Do you guys have any last questions about this course before I move to the very last question about class timings?
Miss Sajida, before you move away from this, how do I know what section I'm in? Is it by cohorts, or is
Yeah,
it like
so
sections that you created?
yeah, so there are two sections. One section is called 25876. The other section is called 25883, and it will be reflected on your Blackboard.
Okay.
So 25876 is section 1. 25883 is section 2. So if I send you emails, I will send it particularly to your cohort. So it shouldn't be confusing. It will be specific to you, and you will be downloading your syllabus based on your cohort. It's different for each of you.
Will the cohort information be on the syllabus if they're coming to us differently?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
Will the cohort information or the section information be on the syllabus that you sent?
Yes, it's right on the top.
Okay.
It's right on the
Okay.
top with the course name.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so any last concerns?
I have a question. The
Yes.
final exam,
Mhm.
is that something that's going to be multiple choice or?
Yes,
Okay.
it is multiple choice. I believe in your course syllabus, let me see what we have on it. It just says final exam, huh? Yeah. So as time goes on, we will let you guys know what that looks like, but it is just multiple choice questions, and it will be available on your Blackboard on the day that I have indicated there. And I will get back with you as time goes closer to let you know more about it.
Okay.
One of the people in our group just moved to a different group in the adolescents, the second one. Could you possibly delete that person for us?
Okay, which section is that?
Section 2.
Okay, can you tell me again where I should be going?
It's the adolescent group.
Right here?
That one.
Okay, who should I remove?
So if you click on my name, Coleman, there's a person that signed up underneath me, like in my thread, Carlos.
Okay.
And he said in there that he moved to a different group, so you can delete.
So remove Carlos. Got it. Thank you for letting me know that.
Hi. We also seem to have in section 2 people signing up for the pregnancy group project and then the pregnancy group discussion on chapter 3. That's further down the list.
Yes. So just to be very clear, at this stage, you're only signing up for the groups. So you would see that the groups are just these 6 links. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links. Chapter 3 is really just a discussion board.
Okay. So I signed up for the wrong thing.
Right. So you got to move back up to that if it's still available. Right now, there are already 4 people signed up on this one, so it is full. So you might have to move to there's one more spot, I think, for infancy. And you could sign up for that. Oh, Madeline is signed up like double signed up. So there's actually 2 more spots for infancy. So yeah, be mindful about like who, if you see double names, it means that you can still get a spot. Okay, that's what it means basically. The first 2 groups for group pregnancy and infancy, remember that your presentations are coming in first in 3 weeks. Okay, so you might want to start working on the social justice issue. I really just want you guys to be creative, right? Earlier this year, I'll give you an example of a social justice issue. Earlier this year in February, I organized a big advocacy event called Push Out, the criminalization of Black girls in schools. So I organized that for, you know, anyone and everyone. It was very well attended by 300 people over. But the reason why I organized a big advocacy event is because it's a social justice issue for me, or at least for a lot of us, when Black girls are being criminalized for and punished in schools for behaviors that do not warrant that. So Push Out is like the suspension and expulsion of Black girls. And I would start writing about why this is a social justice issue. And so this will probably fall under adolescence, right? Because, you know, you talk about like suspension and expulsion, high school, actually elementary school as well. So, you know, depending how you want to word it. And you must have enough evidence to substantiate why this is an issue. So with every social justice issue, remember, justify why this is even an issue. Because you may think something is a social justice issue while somebody else may not. So it has to be substantiated with evidence, which is why I highly recommend the first reading, right? The first reading on social justice. And even your summer reading books and all of that, you can pull that in to kind of formulate in your minds how you view social justice and what does that really mean. Yeah. You can cite people. The UH library is a great place to go to. If you were to go to the UH library, you could actually search using the search button on, like, you know, finding authors who talked about social justice. You can learn more about that from different authors whom you can cite in your work. So yeah, it's a very free flow thing for you to be creative, brainstorming a justice issue, a social justice for your developmental stage. I'm open for consultation regarding your social justice issue. If you're not sure if this constitutes a social justice issue, create an argument for your group, and you can meet me at one of the timings that we can organize together and discuss it together. All right, I'm open to that. And you can, yeah, just go ahead and email me for that. Is there any other questions? I want to just ask one last question. So with regard to class timings, I have a poll that I wanted for you guys to do so that I am aware if y'all are struggling with this class timing. Let me just pull that up in a second. Okay. So I'm putting up 2 different polls. So depending on which section you're in, only use the section that you're in. All right. So for section 1, which is 25876 section number in your syllabus, you can go to the link on that. If you're section 2, 25883, go to the link on that. The reason why I would like for y'all to do that is really because I would like to know if how you feel about this class timing. If we start at 6, we should end by 7:30. I apologize that, you know, it is a little bit above after 7:30 right now, but I'm already seeing some votes coming in, and I would just look at that together with everybody once you guys vote. Has everyone finished voting? Can you give me a thumbs up, maybe like in just under reactions, or yeah, just physically, just so I know how many of you have finished voting. I want to take into consideration y'all's timing, and so that's why I'm doing this. And I just don't want to get mixed up with two different sections. Now, if most of you have finished it, I can share the results of it. Okay. Okay, so it looks like for the first section, we have the majority still preferring 6 o'clock, but I also have a good number saying 6:30. How about we go in the middle? Shall we do 6:15? 6:15 to 7:45, does that work? Okay, so first section, let's stick to Mondays, 6:15 to 6:30. Now, if anybody else who chose Wednesdays if you cannot make it on Monday, can you drop me an email so that I know? And just to see if the day that you signed up for your course, for your group presentation, if you cannot make it on that Monday at 6:15, I would really need to know that because it will impact your grades as well. So this is for the first section. Let's go to the second section. Okay, so you guys also prefer 6 p.m., but you have a 5:30 over there. Shall we do 5:45? What do you think? How does the second? 6? How does the second section feel about 5:45? No? So let's stick to Monday at 6 p.m. then, since that's the majority. Now, oh, Cyrus, you said 5:45 is fine. I think since I had some negative responses to that, I would rather stick with 6 p.m. so that, you know, everybody can kind of get a breather before we start. Thank you, Cyrus, for being understanding. For the property Smith, you said Wednesday is better than Monday, but is Monday possible?
Yes, Monday's fine.
Okay, thank you. And also, is that your full name? Can you just run that by, because I'm not really seeing you on the roster. What is your full name again?
Oh, it's Marcus Smith.
Marcus? Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Cohort 1.
I'm sorry?
Cohort 1.
Yes, I got you, because I couldn't record your name because I didn't know who you were just now.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So I guess we have got everything done. I will be posting this back up on our Blackboard announcements so that you can go back and listen to it. And for the first cohort, we will meet Mondays at 6:15 for all the rest of the sessions. For cohort 2, we'll meet Monday 6 p.m. And otherwise, I think we'll be done. And Ravon, yes, I will stay on afterwards. For the rest of you, have a great night and great week. I look forward to being with you guys in the next 8 weeks, okay? Take care and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Denise Butler. It's
Hi,
me.
Denise.
Hi, I was panicking and I sent you an email stating that I couldn't get into Zoom, but I was able to get in.
Oh, no worries about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to get in. I was like, oh my God. So I was able to get in on time. And my second question, I see that I'm on the one I signed up for. Now I see it's like a lot of people there. There's 6 of us now. How can I erase that? Or because it wasn't showing at first, now it's like, and I'm the last person, I'm the 6th person, so I need to move.
Okay, so Denise, I am with you. I understand what you're talking about. So let me go back. You are in the second section.
Yes, and that means group cohort 2. That's what. Okay.
You are in cohort 2, correct?
Yes, I'm in cohort 2.
Okay, so where did you sign up with just now?
I signed up a little earlier with the adulthood, young to adulthood.
Okay, and you're saying there's 6 people. So
Yeah, it has
actually,
6 now.
no, actually you're fine. You're fine, Denise, because patient signed up twice.
Yeah, can you
Oh,
delete
okay.
me? Can you dissertation? Can you delete one of them? I was
Okay.
trying to add my phone number and my email address, so it's on. It's on the other one.
I just did that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and did you write, patients, did you write your email? Yeah, you got it. Okay,
Yes.
great. Perfect. You're all good. You're all set.
Yes.
So go
Thank
back
you.
and put your email in. It won't mess it up.
Huh?
It won't mess it up if I go in and put my email.
No, you can just edit your thread.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I think we're just kind of panicking because it's so much.
No, Denise, I understand. I completely understand. Online courses can be overwhelming. And I want to just assure you that I could walk you through whatever you need. So don't panic and we'll just take it step at a time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Sajida, can I ask you? Oh, sorry, Rayvon, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to check to see, Sujita, if you can check me for the first pregnancy
First
group.
cohort?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Pregnancy.
and Nancy, are you asking about the same thing?
Well, yeah, I'm in cohort 1, and I had signed up for 2. So if you could just delete the first one, but go ahead and do Rayvon first, and then.
Yeah, you both of you are in the same cohort. Let me just go straight
I
to
think
that.
she's in cohort. Rayvon, I think you're in cohort 2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Okay, I'm in 1.
okay. Well, I'm
think
in 1 right now. So let me do the 1. Which one did you want me to remove?
So I think I did pregnancy, birth, and newborn. So you can delete me there.
Stop. Sorry, it's my dog.
And then I
all the
signed up
time.
for infancy. So hopefully I should be all squared away.
Okay, so you're done.
Thank you. And just one quick question, and then I'll leave.
Yes,
But you
shoot.
had 2 different times, so we're from going forward. We're splitting up as groups when we meet with you, and just have different days.
Yeah, so it's all the 2 different cohorts meet separately, right? So the second cohort actually starts November 2nd, and I think the first cohort starts November 9th.
Okay.
And so it's going to be Mondays, but it's different Mondays.
Got it.
Yeah, so you would not interact with each other.
Okay.
If that was your question.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're excited.
Of course. You're most welcome. And Rayvon, which part did you want me to sort out for you?
Pregnancy, birth, and newborn for number 2.
You're there, but yeah, you're there and you're fine because Carlos has twice.
And then, okay, and Medea is 3 times. Okay.
Oh, you already have 4?
Oh.
Oh, it looks like there are 5. I'm not sure what happened here. 734, it looks like you were the last to sign up for the group. Right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4, 2, 3. I only see 4 names though. Oh, it's very strange. Okay, so Madiha. Okay, so where did Guadalupe go? Okay, Guadalupe is out of here, right?
It seems that way.
Okay, so you might want to just like reply to the thread on the first one to say that Guadalupe is no longer in this thread and you are, just so and give everybody your contact details so that you can get on the email loop.
Could you remove me then from the infancy one, please?
Of course. Done.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else I can help you with, Rayvon?
No, I think that's it for right now. My brain's always working, so I may have a question at the end of it again.
Sure. You can
Sorry.
at midnight. That's cool.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Catherine, Ciara, Talisha, Carlos, anyone has any other questions?
No, I don't have any.
Okay. Thank you, Talisha, for joining us today.
No questions.
No questions, Carlos. Okay, you're good. Ciara, do you have any questions?
No, no questions for me.
Great. Wonderful. I guess we're all done with today's class then. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye, Carlos.